Friday. All right. So again, still rigid transformations. We are now just going to be focusing on making the moves happen. Okay. Really focusing on what happens when we make moves, but now also kind of looking at like how do we make multiple moves in one. So let's draw and describe translation, rotations, and reflections when it happens all in one, because that is possible. Okay. So for a second, I want you to pause it and just think about, okay, how do we map what happening here? Just to warm up, getting our brain back in the math idea of what we've been doing. So hopefully you realize that we are doing a reflection here, but more specifically, I'm hoping that you're like thinking about what is happening when we're doing a reflection in comparison to a rotation, because those are probably the two differences that are hard to identify the differences between. So this is actually, if you look at B, right, it's 1 and then 1 to B prime. D is 1, 2 and a half, 1, 2 to match up to D prime. A is going 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, that's how we're doing reflections. You just kind of count away. Now, as far as this goes visually, okay. Okay, no, that's not what I want. I want to be here. Right here. So, what I want us to think about here, okay, how do we get A to B to C? Okay, so if we're thinking about this, A to B, all we are doing is we are just simply dragging um, grabbing our A and going here. Or sorry, grabbing our A. I want to rotate. Refresh it. So our A vertex here is going all the way across to this one here, here to here. And so when we are doing translations, especially if you don't have a coordinate grid, I recommend you grabbing each of those vertices and drawing a line to match up with it, so you actually are very accurate, especially if we're doing our hand-drawn ones. Draw your lines to where you want them to go so they're matching up exactly the same amount. Again, if you don't have a ruler yet, I highly recommend you either coming to me to get one or you go out and buy one quickly, okay? So now that we have these, oops, I don't want to do that. Our vertices are now matching up onto each of those. Now, there's no reflection or translation from B to C, so we know that we are going to have to do a rotation, okay? Okay, so now we are doing a rotation. And if we're thinking about this, right, if we're trying to rotate here, our point of reflection or rotation is going to be about here, and we are trying to rotate around this fixed point about there, okay? So if we go 60, 60 plus 60 is, hopefully you got that 120, okay? So we're rotating this image about 120 degrees, okay? But that's really what we're just trying to think here. Like it's possible to do multiple transformations in one move. All right, so if we go down here, we can see that our original form, our shape here is A, B, C, D is translating. Let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4 to the right and 1 down for each of those vertices. 4 to the right, 1 down. We can also look here and see that we are rotating this image 90 degrees around the fixed point P. So we also are able to think about that. Now, if we're going from here to here, right, we're definitely, it looks like we're doing 90 degrees counterclockwise, okay? Or, yep, 90 degrees counterclockwise. Actually, it looks like it's going 90 degrees clockwise. But we could go counterclockwise as well if we wanted to. It's just going to still be 90 degrees, which is nice for us, okay? We go down here, we're looking at a reflection, right? We're reflecting across the line of M. This is our M line of reflection. So 1 away from the line, 1 away. For B, it looks like it's 1.5 away, 1.5 away. Or actually, is it 2? 1, yep, 1.5, 1.5. Okay. D, it looks like it's 1 and 1. E, it looks like it's half, half. C, it looks like it's 1, half, half, and 1. All right. The only other word I need you all to take away from today is sequence of transformations. Sequence of transformations is just that word when we're doing multiple transformations. Okay, so pause video and rushes. Go ahead and start your activity. If you need questions, please let me know.